Okay, this is going to be a quick video. Just had an encounter with Michael Beiras. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Israel only advocate, proponent, leader. My title is Michael Beiras, if that's how you pronounce his name. Quote, read the intro to the New International Version, the NIV, to understand translations. End quote. That's a quote from Michael. Really? Really? I had only one other encounter with Michael before today, and that was over in Acts, where Peter uses that word only one time for nation. The only time it's used in the New Testament, and there's I forget the term that's used when only one Greek word is used in the New Testament, found only once. There's a reason for that, and there's a special term for that, and so we purposely picked that term out. And so we were going back and forth on that, and Michael, of course, ignored the fact that it's a synonym. Philistine is a synonym, and he kept repeating himself the same mantra over and over. There's no Philistines in the first century. No, you really? I haven't read ancient Near Eastern history. I haven't read Near Eastern history. No. I mean, come on. It's a synonym. Synonym. And so we had a discussion about that. It wasn't even a discussion. He just kept repeating the mantra over and over and over again. Now today, Michael is telling Don and myself that we need to read the introduction to the New International Version, the NIV, to understand the origin of the Bible and translations, which is amazing to me. Let's see a statement he said here. Michael says, Joel, you should read the foreword to an NIV Bible. If you find the remarks about the Bible, its origins, its purpose, its role in the lives of Christians today, theologically compelling, then you'll be happy with it. With mainline Bible translations, ideology and pre-existent theological commitments are going to be the most significant considerations. The NIV, NASB, ESV, NRSV, and many more are quote-unquote accurate translations, but all will reflect the interests of the teams that translated them. The King James Version is a special case. It's a beautiful and culturally important English text, but it does not translate the earliest recoverable Greek and Hebrew texts we have available. Virtually all other mainline Bible translations do work from the earlier recoverable texts. For what it's worth, the scholarly standard translation is the NRSV, and he's quoting Dr. Tyler Smith, Professor, University of Ottawa, Department of Classics and Religious Studies. So it goes and does a Google instead of going to an academic work or anything like that, and gives us that quote, that we should read the intro to the New International. Well, I have a New International here. I have pretty much all the standard translations, and guess what? There's a reading plan. This is the 1984 version of their student Bible. It's falling apart on me. But there's nothing on the origins of the Bible. So that's why I asked Michael, which New International? Not the New International, because there's different ones. Here's an overview of each book of the New Testament. Then we get into Genesis. So which New International Version, Michael? Which New International Version? I replied to him that the NRSV is, Michael says it's preferred by some in their, I said it's preferred by some in their commentaries. See, he's trying to make the argument that the NRSV is the best Bible to go by. And he says to Don about Romans chapter 9, verse 25 and following, he says this is accurate here. Well, all the cults, they seem to like their own translation. the Jehovah's Witnesses love the King James when they come to your door, even though that's just for show. They have their own translation, the New World Translation. And we see the fundamentalists, independent Baptists, they love the King James because it's easier to teach their doctrine. And so that's why there's a bias here with Michael and his NRSV. And it just amazed me when he said to look at the New International Version intro to understand origins of the Bible. I would recommend him to actually do some reading. I have a few works here on the origin of Scripture. Here's one that actually has a title, The Origin of the Bible. F.F. Bruce, Packer, Comfort, Henry. I have another one here, How We Got the Bible, Neil Lightfoot. That's a good one too. Here's one that kind of an introduction to textual criticism. James White, The King James Only Controversy. Very good book. Misquoting Jesus. No, that wouldn't be really an it might be a little bit of an introduction to textual criticism, but Bert Ehrman and Metzger did a work on textual criticism. And I have here a couple, I have here one on textual criticism. This actually goes to 18 to 2300 on Amazon. It's from 1867, original copy. If anyone wants to buy it, I'll sell it for half of that. Then basic Greek. So these three here would be great. Great start for you, Michael. The origin of the Bible. That's a great start for you. That's a great start for you. How We Got the Bible. That's a great start for you, Michael, as well. And then you could delve into that after you get into those two, maybe. I mean, is this one of the leaders of IO, Israel Onlyism, who has no clue about translation? It's just amazing. I said to him, read the foreword to the NIV Bible. Are you serious? Which one? I have the 1984 study version. So to understand translations, textual criticism, we need to read the foreword to the NIV, and I put roll on the floor, and this guy's a leader in the IO cult. What a putz, and he is a putz. He says, please provide your evidence to support your claim. And then he goes on to Don saying we should use the NRSV because it supports his view of Romans 9:25. Just some fascinating stuff here. What else do we have here? Yeah, please provide your evidence to support your claim, Joel. And I just tell him, Michael, huh? It's you that asserts one needs to read the, as if there's only one version, intro to the new, or the NIV, to understand translation. I have books on the topic from Greek and textual scholars. Do you know the difference between a dynamic, formal, equivalent, and paraphrase? You're making this bold, ignorant statement, not me. He's making an assertion. And I just tell him, Michael, you're in over your head, and best to stick to being a racist atheist. And then I said, yeah, for his recommendation to read the intro to the NIV is an unscholarly, ignorant statement to me. So Michael copies and pastes something from Wikipedia or somewhere, from a religious department in Ottawa, up here in Canada, on why we should read the NIV introduction. And that's his source. That's his source. And this guy is a leader in IO. This is the second encounter I had with this guy. I haven't encountered with the IO guys until the last week maybe. Feeling them out, as it's not really a study of mine, but it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And him going on the other day the same mantra over and over. There's no Philistines in the first century. No Philistines. No Philistines. No Philistines. Well, are we going to go by what Michael says, or are we going to go by what the lexicons and what the Greek New Testament commentaries have to say about the word? And Joe Daniels is dead right on the word, and so he could refute that. So no, there's no Philistines. It's a synonym. Do you know what a synonym is? Or just amazing stupidity. Dealt with the same with Michael Bradley with Philippians 3 and the dogs, of who the dogs are in Philippians chapter 3. These guys are leaders. These guys, they couldn't lick their own lips. They couldn't lick their own lips. These guys are leaders, and they demand people to debate them and so on and so forth. My goodness, people. My goodness. If this is the best they have, they're in deep trouble. And the last few days, Dawn has been coming out and pounding the snot off them. Just non-stop. He's pretty much been focused on these guys. They're coming at him, and he's just taking them to the woodshed like only a couple other people I've seen do so. I mean, this is really bad for them. Really bad. You even have Barry Isaacs sweating a bit, I think. Anyway, Michael, good stuff. Google, that's how we study. Google, Wikipedia. No primary sources or any type of sources from academia or scholarly sources. We'll just stick to Wikipedia and our same mantra over and over and over again. He is a putz.